What do you think happens when we die?
I don't know.
If there was like this all-loving, all-giving God, why is he giving us such bad in life?
I think that's just nothing.
I don't know.
What happens when we die?
Do we go to heaven or do we go to hell?
Today we took to the streets to
See what the public thinks about it. So we just want to get people's perspective on what they think happens after they die.
because at times what we tend to do is we tend to think that people don't believe because they don't want to believe. But let's actually find out why people don't believe or why they do believe.
Yeah.
Sam, my best friend, what do you think happens when we die?
I like to think that we all live a happy life. I'm not sure if I believe that, but my granny's passed away quite recently, and it's really nice, comforting for me to think that people up there are living a life. I'm not sure if I do believe, but it's a nice thought.
What do you think happens when we die?
I don't know.
I don't know at all.
Just go to sleep.
You just go to sleep?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
You don't think there's something cosmological or crazy? No?
Sleep and then, well, maybe. Then in an ideal world, you just wake up and be happy.
I'm a Christian, and the reason why I live my life in a certain way is because I have a hope of what's going to happen after we die. Because I believe that after we die, we go to either heaven or hell. Based on that, I live my life a certain way.
What do you think happens when we die?
I don't know. I wouldn't have a clue.
Personally, I think, and a lot of people disagree with me, reincarnation.
Reincarnation. What makes you think reincarnation, of all things?
See, I'm not religious, so I wouldn't believe in like heaven and hell after death. Reincarnation, it kind of means like, I just guess, but you don't live on as yourself. You just start a new life, like. So that's always what I believed.
Fair enough. And so with you, you're just kind of on the fence.
I don't have a clue.
What do you think happens when we die?
I think that's just nothing.
Just nothing.
Nothing at all.
You think we just die and that's it?
Yeah, you don't exist anymore.
And why do you think that is?
Physics.
So you're like a science guy.
Yeah, I'm a science guy.
Okay. Okay, and so have you been that way your whole life, or have you like changed your beliefs maybe, or?
When I was young, I didn't really think about it, but when I thought about it, I just didn't think there's a higher power that controls everything. So yeah.
Interesting. So you don't believe in God at all?
No God.
Are you 100% certain that there's no God?
99.
Okay, 99. What makes you 99% sure?
Yeah, there's just so many things we don't have explored yet. So
What do you feel like is holding you back from that belief? Like, what's in the way?
Okay, so there's a lot of bad things that happen in life, unfortunately. Like, I'm just going to give one example. When I was 18, I'm 30 now. When I was 18, my mum had cancer.
Yeah.
That's not fair, right? So to me, that seems really unfair.
Yeah.
And that makes me think, like, maybe not, and that
get
how
you.
I kind of think about it.
I get you. And that's a very deep scenario to bring.
Yeah, obviously not everyone's gone through that, and I understand it, but personally I have, and that makes me think like it can't be loving and stuff. Because why would you do that to my mum?
Do you think that it's God that brings sickness? Or do you think that it comes from man in some ways? Say with wars that go on in the world. Is it God whose plan it is for the wars to happen? Or is it that man is just corrupted a bit and, being a bit greedy and stuff?
I think it depends on what it is. Like, I think God is like a nice person, really. But there are things that happen in life, and I think that up a bit.
Do you guys believe in God? And if you do or don't, what's your idea of what God is?
I don't believe in God personally. Just how I was raised, my family were never really religious, bar my great-grandparents. But like, it depends on your religion, really, or like what you believe. So like, I could say like, oh, God is the greatest thing in all existence, but then someone else could say, oh, like, I don't think he is, something like that. So it's kind of a bit difficult to answer because it depends on anything, really.
And so what about you?
Yeah, personally, I don't believe in God either. My family aren't religious, but that's not saying there isn't a God out there, and what he is someone believes in. For different religions, there's different types of God, so there can't just be the one God, you know what I mean?
I don't know. If I'm honest, I'm very quite confused about what's real and what's not. Like, I don't know.
What confuses you, would you say?
The bad shit that happens. I grew up in like a fairly religious family. My dad's side is quite religious, my mum isn't. But as my dad grew up, he turned to not be that religious for me. Like, I've not grown up going to church or anything, and I'm just very unsure.
I really appreciate your honesty as well. Like, that's one thing I really like about you, and that's why we're best friends. Do you know what I mean? We are besties. I find it really interesting how you say like it's the bad stuff that happens in life that makes you question what happens?
I don't mean to be nasty to what you believe or whatever, but if there was like this all-loving, all-giving God, why is he giving us such bad shit in life?
But I have a question there, right? Like we just mentioned some of the bad stuff. Do you think that it's possible that God intends good for people, but then in the free will that he's given people, they deviate from what he's planned?
I don't know. I think it really depends on the situation, because I think, like, not to keep banging on about it, but like my mum with cancer and stuff, my mum is the loveliest person, and she genuinely is. She would not do anything nasty to anyone, and I mean, she went through it years ago, and touch wood, she's fine now. Yeah, she's fine now, and I hope that stays the same. But I don't think she ever deserved what she went through. Yeah, I'm very unsure about that.
You guys said like you're not really sure. But if there was for sure a God, what would he be able to do?
He'd probably be able to say if there was like Afterlife, he'd be able to like not decide whether you lived a good life or a bad life, but he'd be able to say if like reincarnation, for example, he'd be able to say, look, I believe you lived this life, like what do you think?
Just based on what you said, like there's some kind of like judgment or like review.
Yeah.
And so what about you?
If there was one, a God in my eyes would be someone that really tries to stop like world hunger, or tries to prevent like racism, or like people being homophobic or stuff like that, and someone that really tries to just keep peace in the world.
From what I gather from you, a God in your eyes is a loving God.
Yeah.
I like that. If God was to be real in your mind, what do you think he would be like?
I think he wouldn't be a person. I think he would just be there, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I don't think it's correct to say God is white or God is black. I think he's just a being and a power.
And so do you think God would be all powerful, or do you think his power would be limited?
I don't really know. But yeah, all powerful probably.
How do you live your life based on your beliefs then, if you don't really believe that there's a God?
I just do what I think is right for humanitarian things, and I think I do what I think is right and what's fun for me. So yeah.
Is there a certain way why you live your life the way you do?
No. I think we just have to hope for the best. Well, I hope for the best anyway. If I die, I die. I mean, it would be nice to think that there was a place that everyone would go, but I'm not sure.
I heard something. I heard that it takes more faith to believe that there's nothing than it does to believe that there's something.
No, like, I would like to think there was a place, but I've not been there, so I can't comment. No comment, please.
Do you have any opinion on Christianity?
Back in the day, people had to pay to come get to heaven.
Yeah.
This is wrong. That's just wrong. And I think you should just choose the religion you want to, and should be free to choose any religion you want.
And I agree with that. I think everything is free will, for sure. Even with Christianity, like with the paying thing that you mentioned, like that was terrible. It was terrible because even back in the day, what they used to do is they used to manipulate the scriptures, so they would lie to people about what was in the Bible for their own gain. And so yeah, I do agree that that's terrible. Do you feel like there's anything from there that you could grab, maybe? Anything that you feel like this is interesting?
Yeah, you should always love your neighbor. Like, yeah, you should never judge anybody by their looks or something. You should. It's. Yeah, I don't really know what's in the Bible because I don't believe in the Bible.
But you just quoted something. You just quoted two things from there. It's facts. I know you said you're not religious in any way, but have you ever felt like love from God as you know, in a sense?
Yeah, it would be in certain people I see. Like, from people around me doing the stuff that I was just saying, like making the world a better place, I would see it, yeah.
Like that. And what about yourself?
Yeah, no, I'd be the same. Like, especially my great grandmother, she's very religious, so she's always trying to do good. So I could kind of like see it in her and stuff like that.
Okay. Is she Catholic?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you believe in love?
Yeah. Yeah.
What do you think is the greatest act of love?
Being honest, I guess. That's like the main one, I think.
Yeah, same for me. Truth is good.
Do you want to know what I believe the greatest act of love is? It's self-sacrifice. Like, do you guys love each other? Would you take a bullet for her? And would you take a bullet for her? That's also what we believe, that self-sacrifice is. You would put yourself in a position where I love you so much that I would take a bullet for you. That's what our faith is based on. That in Christianity, Jesus took the bullet for us so that we wouldn't have to take it ourselves.
Have you ever felt the hand of God on your life?
During my leaving cert, I was kind of struggling a lot and I was like worried a lot. I'm someone that tends to worry a lot. I tend to be quite anxious about things, and then I remember, it would have been like a week or two before, I just remember feeling so calm. Obviously I prayed during that period as well, and it was almost like something else that wasn't on this earth just told me to sort of be calm. And yeah, here I am now, I'm fine anyway, so I feel like that's what